Hey everyone, welcome to Adventure Audit. Today we're going to be reviewing the Bouge RV JuiceGo. This is a 240 watt hour power station that comes with the following items that you see here. Of course, you have the JuiceGo device itself. It comes with a USB-C to USB-C charger, so that's going to be probably your primary way of charging it for most folks. You have the instruction manual, and then you have a car cigarette port lighter for charging on the go as well. So that is everything that comes in the box. So next we're going to actually take it through some tests and go through the specs of this device as well and see if it's the right fit for you. Getting started with the exterior appearance of the JuiceGo, first thing I want to point out is the size of this thing. So overall, it is very compact and dense as well. There is nothing moving around or shaking around in here. Very nice build quality. It's also made out of metal, as you can hear on the front and back sides of the actual case. It's got nice rubber bump stops right here on both the front and back side as well to prevent the surface metal from actually getting scratched up. So overall, very nice construction. It also has a nice little carrying strap right here just to make it even easier. But overall, nice build quality from what I'm seeing so far. Moving on now to the ports that are offered here in the JuiceGo. You have your power on-off switch there, and then you have your button to enable the AC inverter, which is built into this device. So that is going to plug or run this plug right here. So just like you would expect in your home, this is a standard AC outlet, which is rated for 150 watts maximum input or output, excuse me. And now that is going to run all your standard household electronics. Not very many regular electronics go over that unless you're running something that's more special, like a specialty tool, or something that's a heating source like a microwave or a space heater or something like that. Generally, most standard electronics are going to be totally fine. That is also a modified sine wave, not a pure sine wave, so it still should be good for almost all your standard household electronics. We'll go ahead and disable the AC outlet there. Now, quick note on why it's on a button. That is totally normal practice from other power stations that I've used. The reason why is because by using the AC inverter, it actually takes up a watt or two. So in this one, it's pretty minimal. It's really not going to make a big difference, but that is why it's kind of put on a separate button, is just so you're not wasting battery when all you're using is, let's say, one of these ports here or this one here. It just saves you a little bit of battery. So when you're running something with the AC port on the backside, as I just showed you, make sure you turn that button on. Next, you have a light. This isn't going to come across very well, but you have high, low, and then you have an SOS feature. Next, you have a DC in, which is rated for 12 through 32 volts. I'm going to pop up the specs on the screen right now for the exact size of that, so you can buy a connection for it if needed for either your solar panel, or so you could plug it in via a standard AC adapter. Now, keep in mind, Bogue RV does offer a solar panel add-on and a AC outlet add-on. So me personally, I might think about picking up the solar panel, which is a 50 watt solar panel, which connects directly into here as is. So no adapters needed or anything like that, but that is definitely something to consider if you're just looking for something that's plug and play that'll work with this as is. Next, you have your your car cigarette lighter out. This is rated for 130 watts, which is more than enough for any sort of electronics that uses this type of connection for car outlets, because cars always have fuses in it which blow, and so almost all electronics are designed to run below 100 watts really that are using car cigarette lighters. So overall, 130 watts gives you a nice margin for air or anything like that, and I would be very surprised if there was something that was more powerful than that comes from a car cigarette lighter port. Moving on, you have your in and out USB-C here on the very top, so that is going to be where you're actually going to charge the device through. And then you have your next USB-C, which is just a standard 30 watt port, and then you have your typical USB, just 18 watts. This will charge almost every single USB that you have out there. So that is all the ports that are available here on the Bogue RV JuiceGo power station. So now we're going to go ahead and go into some testing and then some final thoughts. Alrighty, running our first test object here. This is just a standard household fan running on power level 1 right now. Running at 43 watts. It's been going up and down a little bit from there. Let me move it up to the next setting. So this is actually, excuse me, it was on level 2 before. So this is the highest setting now, running 46 watts now on level 3 of this fan. So just a little bit of a difference going from that level. Let me now put it down to level 1. And it's dropping 39, 40. So that is what you can expect running a fan, just like that one. So now we will move on to a couple other tests. Alrighty, next item that is running is this projector right here. So you can see we have this plugged into the JuiceGo. So here's what we're pulling right now. So I've had it running now for a few minutes and I haven't had any problems running the projector, so we will move on to the next device. Next item I want to show you running here is this light. It just has one standard light bulb inside of it. And here's what you can expect with something like this. So we are only pulling 8 watts right now from the device. Looks like that is pretty stable, so we will end the test there. And that is what you can expect for a standard light like that. Alrighty, last thing I want to show you guys is charging via a USB-C cable on an iPhone. I know it's something a lot of you guys will do, just like myself. So let's see what we are pulling here. Last time I did this, I was pulling between 11 to 12, so it looks like that is about what you can expect charging a iPhone via a USB-C cable. And if you're curious, I am using the 30-watt port right now. And that's totally normal to not necessarily get the same output. It just depends on your iPhone and the settings that you have, and also the specs of the cable that you're using as well. But overall, this is charging just like it does on any other charger that I've used, which is great to see. Alrighty, just going over a couple final thoughts now on the JuiceGo. So number one thing for me that I look for on any power station is going to be the battery chemistry. So luckily, in the case of the JuiceGo, they have a lithium iron phosphate battery, which as you can see right here in the product highlights, they mentioned LivePo 4. So anytime you see that on any power station, that is what that is short for, is lithium iron phosphate. And that is kind of right now the #1 battery chemistry for power stations in any of these high-end ones that you see out there. So that is definitely a red flag if they don't have it, but great to see for the JuiceGo. Unlike other power stations that are, let's say, of a smaller size, and specifically if you're looking at power banks, a lot of those only have lithium iron batteries. So this is definitely a good solution that's going to last a long time. Like they say right here, it lasts 10 years, or that's what it's rated for, with over 3,500 cycles. So good to see that. Next thing I want to mention is they do have a solar panel add-on. So with the solar panel add-on, it is $300, or if you go for just the base device, which I reviewed today, which you can still charge with the USB-C or with the cigarette lighter port, that is going to be $209 or $210. So that is something to keep in mind. Last thing to note with the solar charging as well is that it does support pass-through charging as well. So that's going to be really important for if you want to charge something while you have the solar panels going at the same time. That way you don't have to do it separately. So that is definitely good to hear, and I'm definitely considering getting the 50-watt solar panel myself. Or like I had mentioned earlier, you can also use a third-party solar panel if you have the right adapters. So most of the time, most solar panels have a MC4 connection, so you would need the proper MC4 adapter essentially to convert it, so you could plug it into the DC in port that they have here. So that's just something to keep in mind, and let me know any questions that you guys have in the comments below. If I have any updates on this device or anything comes up on it, I'll drop it in the comments below and update you guys. But I appreciate you watching, and you guys have a good rest of your day.